got a lot to talk about on today's show. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Seatman, and we are getting multiple reports that have came out that are suggesting that the Vikings could make a big-time move at the NFL trade deadline. And, of course, we're going to talk about the Matthew Stafford rumors. I'm going to break it down, give you guys every report we are hearing, and I'll just give you guys my thoughts on, how likely a deal could happen, and also talk about the impact Stafford could have on this offense. But before we dive into that, got to get the pulse of the fan base on this. Do you guys want the Vikings to make a blockbuster trade? If you do, and this doesn't have to be for Stafford, it could be for a D lineman or also a cornerback, just hit that thumbs up icon. But if you want the Vikings to save their draft capital, please explain your thoughts down below in the comment section. Trying to grab a pulse of the fan base on this one. So let me know your thoughts on the Vikings making a blockbuster trade. So we got a new report coming in from Derron Montgomery, our good old friend up there in Minneapolis, saying that the Vikings are absolutely having discussions about putting that 2025 first-round pick on the table, which left me to believe that a trade could be happening soon. Now, we'll talk about 5 guys here in the second half of today's show that could involve that first-round pick. But first, let's break it down. We got to talk about the Matthew Stafford rumors, and this is coming in from Jack Settleman on Twitter. So he sparked this yesterday. At 12:58, he tweeted this out, saying, sources, the Vikings and Rams are in serious trade talks for Matthew Stafford. Minnesota made a push to trade for Stafford this offseason, but are now revisiting the idea he can be the piece to help them win a Super Bowl. Now, everybody's freaking out. Who is this Jack Settleman guy? Why does he have sources? Well, Settleman, he's got 60K on Twitter. He's CEO and founder of Snapback Sports, and he also does a lot of work for Underdog Fantasy. But then people started tweeting at him like, who the hell is this guy? Why does this guy have sources? Well, actually, NFL legend, Cowboys legend, Dez Bryant tweeted this out, saying facts about people saying this is just reckless speculation. But then he goes, but Jack is credible. Dez Bryant would not just say this. He could have stayed out of this whole situation. But he is saying, Jack Settleman, he's not just going to tweet this out to get clicks. That's not his MO. He already has a ton of followers on Twitter. He's not just saying this just to try to stir controversy. He heard this from somebody, and Dez is agreeing with that. But now we get to this report today. Ben Gessling, this was about an hour ago, saying, checking in on the Matthew Stafford to the Vikings rumors I've been getting asked a lot of questions about. Source said there's zero truth to the idea the Vikings are trying to trade for him. So when I heard this, when I saw this, a lot of people were saying, see, look at that. I was telling all you guys, there's no chance Stafford gets traded to the Vikings. How about this for a thought? Why would the Vikings want this report getting out there? You are about to go take on Matthew Stafford on Thursday Night Football. What a shot in the back for Darnold. If you already are getting reports that the Vikings, after a 5-1 start in the best ball, or you're playing the best ball of your career, and they're talking about trading for you. I guarantee you, if this is actually happening, the Vikings are actually trying to trade for Stafford. Again, I have no idea. They would not let that report out of the building. And also, if Kevin O'Connell or Kwesi started to hear about all this, I am 100% positive they would have came out already and said, there's no truth behind this. Darnold's our guy. He's our QB1 for the rest of the year. We haven't heard that just yet. So that's why it leads me to believe that it could be happening. But let's talk more about this. So Jack also tweeted this, quote tweeting his original tweet, saying, meanwhile, the Rams have growing interest in signing Sam Darnold to a long-term deal if this happens. I think this would just be a straight-up swap of Darnold for Stafford. And I want to dive into this because a lot of Vikings fans and even Ben Lieber tweeted it out saying, I don't even know if Stafford would be an upgrade over Darnold. I think that's ludicrous. Stafford has been one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League over the last 15 seasons. Now this year, stats look ugly. If you pull up Darnold's stats next to Stafford's, yeah, they don't look as good. But the thing is with Stafford, he's had Tutu Atwell as his number 1 receiver this season. They have had countless injuries to their offensive line. I felt like the Rams, they've been able to stay afloat a little bit because of number 9. And you go back to 2021 when he won the Super Bowl. Almost 5,000 yards, 40-plus touchdowns. He is one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. And then this is the next thing. How could the Vikings take on his $45 million cap hit? That makes no sense. He's on the books for $53 million. This is just fans not understanding the situation. You would only have to trade and take on his base salary plus game bonuses. So that cap hit that everybody sees on Spotrac, that is not the number the Vikings would be taking on. It would be this number. These numbers are an absolute steal for Matthew Stafford. And this is a graphic I've seen thrown out on Twitter. Oh, look at Darnold compared to Stafford. He's got 9 more touchdowns. He's got the same amount of yards. He has been significantly better than him this season. I think this is a cop-out. I think this is people getting too invested in Darnold. And I love Darnold. I don't want all these thoughts that I'm saying and all these, takes that I have where it comes off as me, dunking on Darnold. No, this is just my love I have for Stafford. And number one, on why it makes sense for the Vikings, Stafford's just better. Like, he will give you a better chance to go win the Super Bowl. And also this, it will give a clear path for J.J. McCarthy to be the franchise quarterback. Because how easy would it be? Stafford finishes out this year. Vikings go on a playoff run. He plays next year. Vikings get out of that contract. And then, bam, J.J. McCarthy's your franchise quarterback. On the other hand, what if Darnold leads the Vikings to a Super Bowl? And then he is a free agent next season. He's going to want some big-time money. Are the Vikings willing to give him a 3-year deal with J.J. McCarthy behind him? And they have already said that J.J. is their franchise quarterback. And also this argument. Oh, he doesn't understand the scheme. Why would we trade for somebody that would throw off the chemistry? It is the same exact scheme that he is running in Los Angeles. If you go side by side, Vikings offense, Rams offense, it's the same exact thing. The same role that Cooper Kupp has is the same exact role that Justin Jefferson has. That gets me to my fourth point on why I would make this move. Justin Jefferson, people are saying, he's having a down year by his standards. He's still 4th in the league in receiving yards. But I think his numbers are a little down this season. And I'm not saying that's all on Darnold. But if you would add Stafford in this offense, we already saw the connection that Stafford had with a guy like Cooper Kupp. I mean, Jefferson would become the best non-quarterback and the most dominant non-quarterback in the National Football League, just like how Kupp was that one year they won the Super Bowl. Cooper Kupp went for over 1,900 yards and won Super Bowl MVP. Number 18 could do that exact same thing. And it gets me to my last point on why I would do it. I want everybody watching right now to close your eyes. Like, seriously, close your eyes right now. I want everybody to imagine it's NFC Championship weekend. It's the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Detroit to take on the Lions. Vikings are down 24-20. There's 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Close your eyes. If we have Matthew Stafford in at quarterback, you are feeling so much more confident in that group going and winning that game in comparison to Sam Darnold. And I've loved what Darnold has done. But also, that game against the Lions this past week, 3rd and 4, Darnold's rolling out to his right. He's got Jefferson wide open. He airmails that throw. Those are the little things. So even if you think Stafford is just 5% better than Sam Darnold, maybe that 5% is that percent that gets you over the top. So that's my case for it. I'll toss this question your guys' way. Pick a quarterback for me. Living in a little la-la land here, this is all just reckless speculation. I want everybody to type their jersey number down below on the quarterback you want manning this group for the playoffs, for these big-time moments. Let me know your thoughts down below. Pick a quarterback, 14 for Darnold or 9 for Stafford. Now let's move off the Stafford talk, and let's talk about some more realistic trade targets for the Vikings. That will come up here in just a second, but first, got to give a massive shout-out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. And PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks, and the deal they have going on right now, if you guys hit that link, prizepicks.com/CLNS, plug in promo code CLNS when you're making your first deposit, you guys will get $50 instantly when you just play one $5 lineup. Best part is you don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. So sign up today, download the app, and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play your first dollar lineup. Shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's show. PrizePicks, run your game. So the number one talked about trade target that I think the Vikings trading for Matthew Stafford is more likely than the Vikings trading for Dexter Lawrence. But again, Vikings fans, wishful thinking that we all have. People are all in on this guy, and I'm all in too. I would give up 2 first-round picks. I would give up 2 first and a third, 2 first and a fifth, whatever it does. I would send the Giants an offer they can't refuse. Now, his stats this year, well, look at it. He has 9 sacks in 7 games from the interior of the defensive line. He is the best defensive player in the league right now. He is great against the run. He's great at pressuring the quarterback. And as we know as Vikings fans, what kills quarterbacks the most? Interior pressure. And this guy was the biggest reason why Kirk Cousins took a check down on 4th and 8. But his contract is actually fairly favorable. Like if Dexter Lawrence is on your team for $24 million and 25, 27 and 26, and 26 and 27, that's a steal of a deal. I'm taking that in a heartbeat. So I think this is honestly the most unlikely trade target. But again, if the Vikings are going to make a move and they're going to go an all-out blockbuster trade package, Dexter Lawrence is my number 1 trade target. But number 2, Jeffrey Simmons. Now, we are getting reports out of Tennessee today that they are not open to trading Simmons. But again, man, if the Vikings could get their hands on this guy, it would be awesome. I mean, here are his stats from this season in just 5 games played. 17 tackles, 3 TFLs, 1 sack. Years before that, he's always been able to get pressure on the quarterback, and he's always, been able to be great in the run game as well. He can make plays happen. Just a game wrecker out there, man, and he would really open up stuff for Ivan Pace, Blake Cashman. Kind of the same thing as how offensive linemen are to a running back. Same, connection with defensive linemen to the linebackers. I'll be all in on him, but again, this is seeing a lot less likely. But how about a cornerback here? J.C. Horn, former, I think, top 15 pick. I think it might have been a top 10 pick, actually. Son of Joe Horn, famous NFL player. But J.C., man, he's really came onto his own this season. I mean, 7 PBUs, 1 interception. He has allowed 4 touchdowns, but the completion percentage is awesome, man, 48.5. And with the Vikings, not having Gilmore, Murphy, or Shaq Griffin locked up a year after this one, like they're going to need to make a move in free agency, so might as well just get it done early. Go trade for a lockdown guy like a J.C. Horn. But number 4 for me, Calais Campbell. I think this would be probably a 5th-round pick that you go get him from Miami, and this would just be a rotational guy. But Calais, even at age 38, Calais is still super, super dominant. I honestly don't know what's more impressive. LeBron playing in his 22nd season at age, 40 by now? Or Calais Campbell playing at age 38, playing defensive lineman in the league. Like, what he does is truly phenomenal. I would love to bring him in. He can get pressure from the interior. He's good against the run. I mean, the TFL numbers and the sack numbers speak for themselves on that one. But how about a little DJ Reed? Now, I think after the Devontae Adams trade, I actually think this makes this a little more likely. And you may be saying, why? Well, the Jets had to give up draft capital to go get Devontae. Maybe the Vikings are saying, hey, we'll give you a first for DJ Reed. We'll give you the 30th pick in the first round next season. And I would love it. I think he is the most underrated cornerback in the National Football League. I honestly think he's better than Sauce Gardner. I think we saw it in that Vikings game. Like, he is truly, truly special. And the numbers don't lie. 87 overall coverage grade, 6.6 overall grade, and he's also good in the run game. And this Vikings cornerback room, like, they could use an upgrade, man. Like, Byron Murphy really struggled. Shaq Griffin, even Stephon Gilmore really, really struggled against the Lions. Like, they need more talent in that secondary, and DJ Reed would be a phenomenal, phenomenal choice to do just that. But I just gave you guys 6 names. I just need 1 from you guys. Name a player you want the Vikings to trade for. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. You guys can also give me a follow on Twitter. That's a handle right there, @PatSeeps. Give me a follow over there, and I'll give you guys a follow right back. As always, Skol Vikes.